Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast. Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Dominique Rey. Dominique Rey is the co-founder and CEO of Numarics, Switzerland's virtual chief financial officer. He is a Swiss certified public accountant, certified banking expert, and certified business economist. He is also recognized by the Swiss Federal Audit Oversight Authority as a certified audit expert and secretary of the Commission for Bank Audits of Expert Swiss. His remarkable expertise lies in the transition from the old to the new economy. He understands the limitations of both systems and actively advocates for a better future for the new technology-based economy. Dominique strongly believes that automation of repetitive tasks enables humans to do what they do best, focus on their business, their customers, and their success. Well, good afternoon, Dominique. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here with you, Brian.
Absolutely. This is exciting. I always talk about having a new guest on the show, every day. But again, traversing the world virtually, your company and where you reside is in the country of Switzerland. So I appreciate you making the time to get on this podcast. So Dominique, let's jump into some of your background on the questions here. Let's talk about your career first, right? You've got a career in finance, accounting, you're a senior executive, and now the founder and CEO of Numarics. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
So the secret to my career growth is probably the way that I was never fixed on a clear path. I had not a path in mind from the start, but I always had and showed passion for what I do. And I was open-minded and said, okay, you need to achieve goals like short-term goals, medium-term goals, and then the long-term goals will develop from that. And they always did. If you have asked me 2 years ago, Brian, would you found a company like Numarics? I would have said no. Well, maybe 2 years ago I would have, maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, I would say it's impossible. I was growing up in the corporate world where 99% of the people remain and they do not go on self-employed way. But this is basically what I did just by meeting people and having conversations with them that actually inspired me. So to answer maybe the second part of your question, what inspired me is ideas, vision, ambition, and things to change something for the better. And in my profession, I am a certified public accountant in Switzerland. I was always thinking of how can we make things better, especially for SMEs, because I saw them suffer under the burden of administrative tasks that they had to accomplish. And there was some tools that made their life easier, but some didn't. And that's how the idea of Numarics was actually born. And that's what inspired me most. And to be honest, if I look back, I learned a lot during my corporate time that I worked with big corporates like Credit Suisse or like PricewaterhouseCoopers, for instance. And I have to thank them for really training me and making it possible that I have a filled backpack with skills that I can now use. Because when you start a startup, all the skills you acquired are needed. And you need even more than that. And then you will learn a lot. But I was actually happy to not start the startup too early because we are quite an experienced team with people being already in their, let's say, second phase of their career. And that has an advantage, a big one, in terms of knowing what you do and, not doing the same mistakes twice. So that was really helpful. On the other end, you probably are less risk oriented. You probably think, okay, I'm not going to take that risk. And you think twice or 3 times about why you should do it. And that was really good. And that was the inspiration that I had with some of the co-founders that they actually said, why don't we do it now? I mean, it doesn't matter the timing. It doesn't matter the age. It doesn't really matter. Now is the time and let's do this together. And here I am now, co-founder and CEO of Numarics.
I love that. There's just so much what's incredible around the human being, the human spirit, and having a little bit of inspiration, right? A little bit of hard work. That's just awesome. I love that. And, a good portion of the podcast here, Dominique, is really around entrepreneurs and people that have founded startups. So thank you. Let's talk a little bit about the pandemic, right? Did the lockdown contribute or hinder to your success of Numarics? And what are your plans going forward for continued growth?
So the pandemic, to be honest, is a tragedy for itself. It basically changed the way we live, work, walk and talk almost in our entire life. And the lockdown was kind of a shock for everyone, for SMEs, for startups, for all industries, and also the working members of the society, and also elderly people, young people going to school. Everything changed. For us as Numarics, it's a bit difficult to say it in a positive way, but actually the lockdown supported us in a way to force us to be digital and decentralized and video-based from the start. So the lockdown shaped the way we work together. We already had it in mind that we work this way because we have collaborators and employees in 5 different countries at the moment. So it's not only Switzerland, we have Serbia, Poland, Croatia, and Denmark. And this was forcing us to be decentralized and on video-based only already from the start. But the lockdown prevented us from traveling. And sometimes it's just very important to travel, very important to meet each other and to see each other and to have meetings. But we did that all fully electronic, and it was running pretty smooth. And what happened, and that's maybe the positive side of the lockdown and also the whole COVID situation, SMEs started to look for digital options. And Numarics is providing a digital options. We are a digital accountant, a digital CFO for SMEs, and we did exactly that. So yeah, I mean, SMEs are a lot more open now for video conferencing, having a demo call via mobile phone or on the laptop. And so this helped us actually to come through. And we built our mobile and web app during that time. Basically, maybe I can go back a little bit. In spring 19, we met, the co-founders met. And after that, in February 20, we founded Numarics. It was just 1 month before the lockdown. And during that phase, we basically had onboarding of employees. We had new tools being done. We had a mobile app, a web app developed. And of course, also our core engine, the booking engine for accounting in Switzerland. So this all has been built by employees that some of them I have not even met in person up to now, which is not a good thing. This should change. But now with the certificates, vaccination and all the stuff, it's a bit easier. And it's time now to meet people. And your second question regarding how do we go forward and how is our continued growth? We go forward by just growing in Switzerland first. So our main market at the moment is Switzerland, where it's like our proof of market, which growth rates are really amazing. We started sales in June this year, and we launched the mobile app and the web app. Our mobile app is the main character of the scene. We want to have an easy to use tool. So we built the whole accounting part on a mobile app, and we basically help our customers to have a clear vision of their finances, that they can focus on their work and we take care of the rest. And that has been developed now just during the last 15 months. And in summer we launched. And now about 2.5 weeks ago, we just won a prize, one of the most precious, actually the highest prize you can get for a mobile app in Switzerland. It's called the Swiss App Enterprise Award. It's the Best of Swiss App Award in the category Enterprise. And we were really astonished that we won that one because we were competing against big firms with big budgets and that spend a lot on their mobile apps. And this happened just two weeks ago. And then we knew we're on the right track. And the first sentence in the laudation that the head of the committee said is Numarics has the means and the power to turn the accounting sector upside down. Basically a disruptor. I don't know if that's something that a lot of accounting firms are liking to hear, but I see it in a positive way because we're going to help them to make things easier and service SMEs in a way that they have not seen before.
I love that. And that's a great segue into the next question, Dominique. You're obviously leveraging some of that new and emerging technology, right, within your business. Is there anything you might be able to share with us today?
Of course, and with pleasure. And when it comes to tech and fintech and emerging technologies, there are some important areas that you need to look at. One of them is basically using machine learning and AI. Machine learning and AI doesn't make sense in every area, but it makes sense in areas where you have a lot of repetitive tasks. And in accounting, you do have a lot of repetitive tasks. So you actually, one of the co-founders of our co-founders, Chris, he has an own company with a slogan. And his slogan is, work is for bots, life is for humans. And this is actually exactly what we do. We want to have humans do what they can do best. And we want to have bots or computers do what they do best. So when it comes to Numarics, basically what we do is we use an own programmed machine learning algorithm to help us detect, read, and even be able to book a receipt that you scan in a very short time. You cannot believe that this is done manually in Switzerland at the moment. And this is a very important thing. And the other thing, of course, is having a process view. So if you have a process view and you see, okay, this is the process how things need to go through. Now let's take a look which tech tools are the best. Then this is exactly the way forward. And I can share you an example of that. For instance, when you build a mobile app, you can either build a mobile app on Apple and another one on Android, right? And then you need to like two different systems, two different complete designs and setups. But there is also technology that we chose about 1.5 years ago, which is called Flutter. And Flutter is allowing us to only develop once, and then you can deploy on both operating systems. And that saved us a lot of time. It actually halved almost our development time here.
That's awesome. And you're right. All this technology is amazing. And Flutter is a big thing right now. We have a lot of guests that talk about the use of Flutter and how it has cut their time to market to get their product out much faster and much more cost effective. So thank you for sharing all this. And Dominique, last question. Can you share something from your career experience that would be helpful for those looking to grow maybe their career in fintech or entrepreneurship?
Of course. The most important thing for me was always to be curious and open. When you want to grow your career, you need to look out for knowledge and look out for people who inspire you and people you can look up to. There is always someone or several people that inspire you in some way. And that you think, okay, if one day I'm going to be like that person or have the knowledge of that person, it's going to be great. And then talk to these people. Don't be afraid. Just go there and talk to them and ask them about anything you want to know and how to get there. And then what you will find out is astonishing. It's almost never just a gift. You know, you don't get something given into your birthday when you get born. You just know it. No, it's most of the time, 80, 90%, sometimes even more. It's pure dedication and discipline and work towards a goal. And those people inspire you in a way because they follow through and they say, okay, no matter what, despite all the obstacles that might get along the way, I'm going to master it. And then you go ahead. When you're in fintech, what you need to do is you need to put yourself together with someone who really knows the tech stack and the tech area, because choosing the right tools is like super important. And this is something that I'm very happy at Numarics. We chose the right tools, but this is something that you need to have an expert in. For us, in our team, this is Chris, right? And without Chris, this wouldn't be possible. Without me, this wouldn't be possible. Without other people either. So everyone played its part, but it's a good team. So when it comes to startup, maybe 3 ingredients are the most important. It's the team. They need to fit together. They need to have the skills together, and they need to be somehow complementary, and being able to also go through hard times, having like a fighting culture, but with a positive solving attitude. The second thing that I think is crucial is, of course, financing. I mean, we are an accounting firm for our SMEs, but nevertheless, also for all other sectors, this applies. You need to have your finances under control, and we help them with our dashboards, with our document management system, with the invoicing that we offer, with the payroll, with the direct link to the government, for instance, for tax filing and so on. It's quite a broad range. So, but you need that, okay? And the third thing that you need to have is like passion and dedication, because when you go along the way, no matter it's a career in the corporate world or whether you go with a startup or you work in a small company, when you have passion and dedication and you love what you do, and let's say most of the days you get up in the morning, you love what you do, right? It's not going to be every day because life can be hard on you. And there are even in a dream job, there are days that are really tough, but that's fine. But if the majority of the days are fine and you like to get up to your job and you do what you love, you're going to be very successful. And I think maybe it's also good to not look too much on the left and the right, what others do. I would spend a lot more time on what you do yourself and what you really want to contribute and when you can contribute. And then surround yourself with people that are either better than you or people who support you in a way that they bring out the best in you. This is not always achievable. In some team constellations, of course, it might also be difficult to achieve that, but this should be always the goal, that you bring out the best in everyone. And when you do that, you will be astonished what 3, 4, or 5 people in a team are able to achieve in a super short time.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. What's really cool and great to hear is guests like yourself, Dominique, that are sharing some of those secrets, some of the things that they've done to get to where they are in their career or in their business. And that's very helpful for a lot of us in the audience here. So thank you so much. And Dominique, it was a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Same here, Brian. Thank you very much for having me in the show.
Bye for now.